the first quadratic right here, x squared plus 3x minus 10. They want to know which form it's in. It's in standard form because it's got 3 terms. So any trinomial is in standard form. Anything with 2 sets of brackets is factored, and anything else is going to be vertex. So A, B, and C are going to be A equals 1, B equals 3, and C equals negative 10. Does it open up or down? Well, because A is 1 and it's positive, it opens up. What's the y-intercept? That's just the C equals negative 10, so y-intercept is negative 10. Okay, so normally you'd be given the x values. We're going to start at negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. When we put negative 4 in, it's going to be f of negative 4 equals negative 4 squared plus 3 by negative 4 minus 10, and that's equal to 16 minus 12 is 4, minus 10 is negative 6. When we put negative 3 in, I'm not going to show all the work. I'm going to go 9, take away 9 is 0, take away 10 is negative 10. When I put negative 2 in, I'm going to go 4 minus 6 is negative 2, minus 10 is negative 12. We'll put negative 1 in, it's going to be 1 minus 3 is negative 2, minus 10 is negative 12. Then we're going to get negative 10, negative 6, and when I put 2 in, I get 4 plus 6 is 10, take away 10 is 0. Alright, so now they want us to graph this. So we're going to have to go, let's go by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So, guys, we're going to graph this. So, wait, we're going to go over to, let's start at 0 and negative 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's our y-intercept at 0 and negative 10. So, I just did this one. Next, I'm going to go 1 and negative 6. 2, 4, 6. The other negative, okay, so here's this one, negative 4 and negative 6. Next one's negative 3 and negative 10. Negative 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I guess now we know our 0 is kind of weirdly between these two. So guys, we have symmetry here, right? So if you draw a dotted line down the center of that symmetry, you should be able to find your vertex after. Negative 2 is at negative 12, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The other negative 12 is at negative 1, so I'm going to use that. Now the vertex should be somewhere down here. I'm going to estimate, and then I'm going to put the first 0 in at 2 and 0. And the other one should be at negative 5 and 0, just using symmetry. Then you can sketch that. Okay, estimate the values of the x-intercept and the vertex. Well, the x-intercepts are negative 5, and the second one is 2, and the vertex is going to be at, well, we know this one is negative 1.5, comma. If we put negative 1.5 in here, we'll get our answer. So that should be It should be negative 12.25 when you put that in, which kind of makes sense because here's negative 12. That's just a little lower. Okay, I probably didn't really draw it to scale. Is the vertex a max or a min? Explain how you know. Well, it's a minimum. And we're going to say it's because it's the lowest point. Okay, looking at this quadratic right here, we see two brackets, so we know it's in factored form. Does it open up or down? Well, there's a negative sign here. That's where our a value goes, so it's opening down. What are the x-intercepts? The x-intercepts are whatever number for x would make each individual bracket 0. So I notice if I put 1 in here, 1 minus 1 is 0. So the first x-intercept I see is going to be at positive 1. The other one, negative 9 plus 9 makes 0, so the other one is negative 9. Now it says use the x-intercepts to find the coordinates of the vertex. Okay, 1 plus negative 9 over 2. That's going to be negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4. Then we're going to take negative 4 and plug it into the equation right here. So I'm going to write f of negative 4. That's negative 4 minus 1, negative 4 plus 9. If you do this right, you should get negative 5, positive 5. Whenever you put the x value of the vertex into the factored form, you should get opposite numbers in your brackets. So when you multiply all this out, you get a negative 25 here times a negative 1 here gives us positive 25. Okay, so the coordinates of the vertex now are negative 4, comma 25. And that would be a maximum because it's at the top. Okay? The axes of symmetry, you just write down x equals whatever the x value of the vertex is. Done. The y-intercept. In general, to find the y-intercept, you're going to find if the function's name is f of x, we're going to write f of 0 is equal to negative 0 minus 1, 0 plus 9. I don't care what form it is, this will always work for the y-intercept. So negative 1 times 9 is negative 9, times negative 1 is positive 9. Graph the function using the grid provided below. Okay, let's start with the vertex. The vertex is at negative 4 and 25. And so we're going to go negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Now we have to go down at negative 4 to, or we have to go up to 25. So we're going to just count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There's our vertex. Now, all we're going to do from here is estimate where negative 9 would be. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's one of our zeros. The other 0 would have been at 1 right here. This is not to scale now because we're going up by 5s here. So this is not going to be to scale in any way because we're going to 1 by 1s here, but 5s up and down. So it's going to look a little skewed. I'm going to put the y-intercept in. This is enough points, guys. So we got 4 points. We're just going to sketch this now. If I give you guys a test, I don't want you guys to have to think about the scale. I'll have the numbers on there. Okay? So let's go to the next one now. Okay, what form is this in? It's in vertex. Why? Because there's one bracket squared with a number out front and another number over here. So this one's vertex. Does it open up or down? The answer's up because the a value is positive. The coordinates of the vertex are 2, negative 7. We always take the opposite of this number and same that number. What's the y-intercept? Well, we're going to put in, I'm going to just label this g of x for now. 3x minus 2 all squared minus 7. So we're going to find g of 0. So we're going to put 0 in for x. 0 minus 2 all squared minus 7. So this is going to give us 3 times 4. Because negative 2 squared is 4. Then minus 7 from that. So we have g of 0 is going to be 12 minus 7 is 5. And is the vertex a max or a min? Well, it opens up, so the vertex at the bottom, it's a minimum. What is the axis of symmetry? X equals 2, which is whatever the x value of the vertex is. Okay, when we go and graph this one should be a little easier. We're going to go to 2, negative 7. So here's 2, go down 2, 4, 6, 7. There's the vertex. We're going to do our step pattern. The step pattern when A is 1 is 1, 3, 5. When A is equal to 3, that becomes all times by 3. So 3, 9, 15. So from here, we're going to go over 1, up 3. There and there. Then we're going to go over 1, up 9. Now that should take us to 5. If you notice, we're at negative 4 here. If we go up 9, we're going to be up at 5, which is what we calculated our y-intercept to be. Now typically when you're asked to graph a quadratic, you're going to need a minimum of 5 points typically. Right now you'll notice we have 4. I get the 5th point by mirroring this point over the axis of symmetry. In order to mirror something, the principle you need to know is that things in the mirror are equal distance away on the other side of the mirror in imaginary land. So 1, 2, 1, 2. There it is. Then we sketch. Here we go. So in this question, we have to expand everything out and get it into standard form. That's the key here. When you expand something and collect all your like terms, you get a trinomial, and that puts it into standard form. So the first one, y equals x squared plus 7x plus 3x plus 21. Y equals x squared plus 10x plus 21. That's done. Next one, g of x equals, okay, this one's going to be x minus 4 plus 5. So we have one additional step when we do this. First, we're going to expand it out, and it's going to give us x squared minus 4x minus 4x. That gives us a total of minus 8x plus 16 plus 5. Last step is just to combine the 16 and the 5 into 21. X squared minus 8x plus 21. Next question. Same idea. We're going to go f of x is equal to 4. We're going to pretend the 4 is not there for a moment. And we're going to expand out these two brackets. We're going to get x squared minus 5x plus x minus 5. So we get f of x is equal to 4 x squared minus 4x, because negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4 minus 5. Okay, now we're going to multiply all these numbers by 4 to get rid of the brackets. 4x squared minus 16x minus 20. There's another way to do this. It involves taking the 4, done. Okay, h of x is equal to negative 2. I'm going to expand this just by saying it. So we're going to have x squared plus 7x and 7x is 14x plus 49 minus 12. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply all that by negative 2. So we get negative 2x squared minus 28x minus 98 minus 12. H of x is equal to negative 2x squared minus 28x. That should give us minus 110. Okay, y-intercepts for all of these. I'll just do them in order. So here's A, 21. Here's B, 21. C is negative 20. The last one's negative 110.